Japan has become the dream destination of the world. A place where neon streets, ancient temples, and spotless trains create an image that feels almost too perfect to question. But beneath that curated perfection lies a truth fewer and fewer travelers are willing to admit in 2025. For years, Japan was seen as the flawless, futuristic travel fantasy, a bucket list paradise that could do no wrong. But the more travelers arrive, the more they begin to notice a subtle disconnect between the dream and the reality. Western visitors expect magic at every turn, yet many now describe Japan as beautiful but emotionally distant. They say the country feels polished on the surface, but harder to connect with once you go beyond the postcard views. Social media built Japan into a global travel phenomenon, pushing millions toward the same temples, streets, markets, and stations. But that surge of attention placed enormous pressure on the country's emotional rhythm and traveler experience. Tokyo still shines like a living light show, yet many visitors describe it as overwhelming, so crowded, so busy, and so intense that it leaves them more exhausted than inspired. The magic is there, but it's buried beneath noise, speed, and sensory overload. Kyoto still carries the weight of history and spirituality, but the quiet that once defined it has faded under the footsteps of constant global attention. Travelers arrive expecting serenity and leave wondering where the calm went. Japan's charm was built on details, the little moments of softness, precision, and cultural beauty that once felt effortless. But when millions chase the same moments, their emotional impact becomes diluted. Travelers now speak of long lines, overbooked spots, and tourist fatigue in places meant to feel sacred. Shrines and temples that once felt like peaceful escapes now resemble open-air museums filled with restless crowds. Social media trends pushed specific experiences into global obsession. Every traveler wants the same ramen shop, the same cherry blossom angle, the same anime street, the same hidden alley, turning once quiet spots into chaotic hotspots. Many visitors realize that Japan's hidden gems stopped being hidden years ago. The country feels mapped, photographed, and exposed in a way that leaves little room for discovery. And yet, no one wants to admit this openly. Japan carries a global reputation too strong to challenge, a cultural pressure that makes travelers hesitant to say they felt underwhelmed. But the truth is emerging through thousands of quiet travel reviews. Japan is extraordinary, yes, but it is also overhyped in ways that create unrealistic expectations long before travelers step off the plane. Even first-time visitors describe a sense of emotional distance that feels hard to explain. They feel welcome, but not connected. Impressed, but not moved. Amazed, but not transformed. This disconnect grows as costs rise across the country. Hotels once considered affordable now demand prices that rival Western cities, and restaurants no longer feel like budget-friendly havens. What used to be one of Asia's best value destinations is now one of its most expensive. For many travelers, the magic feels harder to justify as prices climb beyond what they imagined. Japan didn't intend to become overhyped. It simply became too perfect in the global imagination. No real-world destination could ever match the expectations built through millions of viral clips. The culture of tourism shifted too fast for the country's emotional core to adapt. The soft, subtle experiences that once made Japan unforgettable now struggle to survive under the weight of global tourism demand. Travelers still love Japan, but many leave feeling they missed something. They want authenticity, connection, and meaning, yet they often find themselves rushing between famous spots trying to keep up with the country's pace. Japan remains mesmerizing, but in 2025, its travel experience feels different. Polished, crowded, fast, and emotionally distant. And more visitors than ever quietly wonder if the world has oversold the fantasy. But the story doesn't end there, because the truth behind Japan's overhype reveals something deeper about what travelers actually want, and what Japan can still offer if travelers learn how to look differently. Travelers now say Japan feels like two countries at once, the one in their imagination and the one they actually meet. The difference between the two can be subtle, but once you notice it, it shapes every moment of the trip. The imagined. Japan is effortless, calm, and perfectly curated. The real Japan is fast, crowded, and emotionally distant in ways many visitors never saw coming. Tokyo's glow is still breathtaking, but many describe the city as too much too quickly. It overwhelms rather than embraces, leaving travelers in awe but emotionally detached. Kyoto remains beautiful, yet its ancient charm is strained by constant foot traffic and selfie culture. Travelers often expect spirituality and find spectacle instead. Osaka is still fun, loud, and full of life. But even here, the rising cost of dining and nightlife has left some visitors feeling surprised by the bill. The once budget-friendly Japan no longer exists the way people remember it. Even the much romanticized friendliness of Japan has shifted. Locals remain polite, but with the constant influx of tourists, many feel stretched thin in cities already running at full speed. Tourism doesn't feel as personal as it once did. It feels organized, automated, and transactional, efficient but emotionally shallow. Travelers mention feeling like observers rather than participants in Japanese life. They see beauty everywhere, but rarely feel included in it. Japan's transportation system, once praised for perfection, now feels crowded and intense for many. Trains pack tightly during rush hours, and navigating them feels more like survival than sightseeing. Japan's social rules, quiet trains, strict etiquette, fast movement, catch visitors off guard. Many describe the pressure to blend in as mentally draining after a few days. The country's emotional energy feels different from other Asian destinations. It is structured, disciplined, and reserved. Admirable qualities that don't always translate to connection for Western tourists. Japan still delivers unforgettable moments, but they come at a higher emotional cost than many expect. The balance between beauty and burnout feels thinner in 2025 than in any previous travel era. Yet there is another side of Japan that remains untouched by overhype. Smaller towns, mountain villages, coastal regions, and local markets still carry a gentle warmth that feels like the Japan people dream about. These places don't go viral because they aren't designed for global consumption. They move slowly, quietly, and authentically, a rhythm that restores the emotional core of Japanese travel. Visitors who venture beyond Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto often describe a different experience entirely. They encounter kindness without pressure, beauty without crowds, and culture that feels genuine rather than curated. This is the Japan many travelers don't realize they're missing. A Japan that hasn't been commercialized into a global brand. The country is not overhyped because it lacks beauty. It is overhyped because global expectations no longer match the reality most travelers choose to see. Japan is still one of the most extraordinary destinations in the world, but it requires a different mindset to appreciate in 2025. Travelers must slow down, explore deeper, and let go of viral itineraries telling them where to stand, eat, and take a picture. The truth no one admits is simple. Japan hasn't changed as much as travelers have. The world now rushes at a speed that makes it harder to appreciate a culture built on patience, subtlety, and small moments. Japan still has magic, but not the kind that fits neatly into a 30-second travel clip. Its beauty is slow, gentle, and emotional, and it reveals itself only when travelers stop chasing the dream they've seen online. So, is Japan overhyped? Only if travelers expect perfection. Only if they compare every moment to a viral fantasy. Japan remains incredible, but its true magic belongs to those who choose to experience it without expectation, calmly, slowly, and with an open heart. In 2025, the real Japan still exists. You just have to look for it where no one is pointing.